This is Anthony Olympia with Six String Country. In this lesson, we're going to be working on God's Country by Blake Shelton. It was written by Michael Hardy, Devin Dawson, and Jordan Schmidt. In the rhythm lessons, we're going to be using a capo on the 3rd fret and going drop D. On the lead stuff, we'll also be in drop D, capo 3. Some pretty dark, minory sounding stuff we're going to be getting to, some kind of like finger picking or hybrid picking, whatever you call it. We use your pick and your fingers on your right hand. We're going to be working on some of that stuff. And on the rhythm stuff, the electric stuff's really straightforward and just cool. I am going to give you kind of like an option for the rhythm stuff to kind of simplify it some, and we'll have that in that lesson. But so let's get started.
Right outside of this one church town, there's a gold dirt road to a whole lot of nothing. Got a deed to the land, but it ain't my ground. This is God's country. We pray for rain and thank Him when it's falling, 'cause it brings the grain and a little bit of money. We put it back in the plate, I guess that's why they call it God's country. I saw the light in a sunrise, sitting back in a 40 on a muddy riverside, getting baptized in holy water and shine with the dogs running. Saved by the sound of the been found Dixie whistling in the wind, that'll get you heaven bound. The devil went down to Georgia, but he didn't stick around. This is God's country. We turn the dirt.
Here we are at the rhythm lesson for God's Country. We're going to put our capo on the 3rd fret. We're also going to be in drop D tuning, which is where you take your low E string and drop it down a whole step to a D, right? So, having that drop D capo 3 ready to go, let's go ahead and talk about some of the things we're going to be doing. There are some tabs for this lesson, so I do want to give you a simpler version if you're just wanting to strum. We'll get there. When we get to, in this lesson, when we get to the chorus, we'll be using that stuff. We'll start off with what the chords are and what that part will be, just to go ahead and get you running. And then if you want to hang around and get into some of the more tabbed kind of parts, the finger picking, hybrid picking stuff we're going to do, hang on, and we'll get into that here in a little bit. Let's go ahead and talk about the chords we're going to use. The first one you're going to hear in the song is just an A sus chord. And it's kind of like right at the very beginning of the song, you just kind of hear them sort of like slowly strum, that chord. You know what I mean? Right at the beginning of the song. So an A sus chord is open measure is similar rhythm. It's just kind of like around what the C chord was doing. So we're going to go to the 3rd fret of the A. We're going to show you what fingers we're putting on the fretboard before we actually start talking through it. So like a C chord, 3rd fret of the A, 2nd fret of the D, open G string is what we're going to kind of be using. Start with the A string and then hit the D string. So, right, and the D string is 2nd fret, A string is 3rd fret. So A, D, A, D, A, D. And then the back and forth it goes A, D, A. Next we're going to do the 2nd fret of the D string, open G, back to the D string, 2nd fret, and then pull off. Like that. That measure. Cool. Moving on, it's kind of, we're not going to be shaping that D5 chord, we're just going to be playing. Cool. So I have my finger here on the 5th fret of the A string, and then I'm using the low E string, which is tuned down to a D. So we're going to go open E, and then the A string. Same kind of rhythm like we did before. Right? Same kind of thing, just now we're fretting different things. Now that we got everything, let's go ahead and cover through these parts with a metronome. We'll start with the strumming stuff. All right, here we go with the chord progression, just the kind of that you would play through the whole song if you wanted to keep it simple. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. some sustain. It's not as necessary for the choruses as it is for like the verses and the swells and really the solo. So yeah, enough about that. Let's start playing. The very first thing we do when the band kicks in, like the acoustic will do like a little strum thing and then wait, and then the band kicks in. I'm gonna play that. So I'm on the 3rd fret of the B, sliding up to the 5th, and then hit the 5th fret of the E string. Hold that for a whole measure. The first 2 notes are just like a pickup, so it'll be like 3, 4, 1. You know what I mean? Next note, second measure is the 5th fret of the B string. Whole note there, another whole note, 3rd fret of the B, and then a whole note on the G string. Let's cover that slowly. Here we go. 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. I feel like anytime I'm sustaining long notes, I just keeps going. So we're gonna repeat all of that. The last measure will be a little different. So we'll repeat it. We do that A minor chord, the C, the D5, and now here's the last measure of the chorus. We're gonna hit the A minor chord, 2, and then do this here. I'm on the 5th fret of the D string. I'm gonna slide up real quick to the 7th fret and do that twice. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4. Cool? Super simple. Let's go ahead and move on to the second verse. We're kind of gonna be doing what we did in the first half of the chorus, or those chords where you let them ring, but they're just gonna be half notes now. I thought this was kind of cool. It's like using the guitar as a texture, almost like the way a keyboard would play a synthesizer, like stop, stop. And that's kind of what this part is, essentially. To stop, or rest. To rest. 4, 2. Let's try this whole thing slowly now that we know what's going on with the pickup. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3. 2, 3.